So good morning, sir. Good morning, classmate. Today we will going to report surface area of prisms and cylinders. But first, let's talk about what are the subtopics of prisms. So first, the lateral face and lateral edge. Second, right and oblique prism. Third is altitude. Fourth was surface area, and lastly, lateral and surface area of a right prism. So prism is a solid shape that is bound on all its sides by plane faces. So there are two types of faces in a prism, the top faces and the bottom faces. And the prism is named after the shape of these bases. For example, if a prism has a triangular base, it is called a triangular prism. Lateral face and lateral edge. So a prism is made of two identical bases and several side faces. So these side faces are what we call the lateral faces. They are the surface around the prism, excluding the top and bottom. In a right prism, these faces are rectangles. In an oblique prism, they are slanted parallelograms. So the lateral edges are the line segments where two lateral faces meet rather. They run from one base to the other. These edges help define the height of the prism because the height is measured along a perpendicular direction between the bases. So understanding lateral faces and edges is important because the lateral area of a prism is calculated using the perimeter of the base and the height. Without knowing what the lateral faces and edges are, you cannot measure or calculate the surface area correctly. So the formula for finding the lateral face and lateral edge was P times H, where P is the perimeter of the base and height is the height of the prism. So the right and oblique prism. Prism comes in two main forms, right and oblique. A right prism has lateral edge that stand straight up perpendicular from the bases. This makes the side faces perfect rectangles and makes the calculation easier. An oblique prism has lateral edges that lean or slant. Instead of rectangles, its side faces becomes parallelograms. Even though the shape is still a prism, the surface areas becomes more complicated because the height must be measured using a perpendicular distance, not the slanted edges. So this distinction matters because the right prism use easy formulas, while oblique prism require extra steps to find height or surface area accurately. Next was the altitude. The altitude of a prism is simply its height, the perpendicular distance between the two bases. So this is important because the height is always measured straight up and down, not along a slanted edge. In right prisms, the altitude is the same as the lateral edge, but in oblique prism, the lateral edge is slanted, so the altitude is shorter. The altitude is used in formulas such as lateral area is equals to perimeter of the base times height and volume is equals to base area times height. So without the altitude, you cannot compute the area or volume of the prism. So the next topic will be discussed by Ms. Suetsuetado.
Surface area. The surface area of a prism is the total area of all its faces. This includes all the lateral faces, the two congruent bases. To compute the surface area, we add the lateral area and the areas of two bases. Surface area matters in real-life situations where you need to cover, paint, wrap, or design objects such as boxes or packaging. Next slide, please. The lateral and surface area of right prisms. The formulas are lateral area equals perimeter times height. The second formula is total surface area equals lateral area plus 2 times base area. So the right prisms make surface area calculations much easier because all the sides faces are rectangulars. These formulas apply directly without extra adjustments because the sides are not slanted. This is why right prisms are used for many practical items like boxes, containers, and storage units. Next slide, please. And these are the part of cylinder: lateral surface, axis of cylinder, right and oblique cylinder, lateral and surface area of a right cylinder. Cylinder is a three-dimensional solid that has two congruent parallel circular bases and a curved surface connecting those bases. These are the key features of a cylinder. It has bases, axis, height, and radius. Next slide, please. Lateral surface. The lateral surface of a cylinder is the curved surface that wraps around it, excluding the top and the bottom circles. So the formula is lateral surface, lateral area equals 2 pi r times height. So this is understanding this helps in real life applications such as designing labels for cans or calculating the material needed to cover a cylindrical object. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Next is the axis of a cylinder. The axis is an imaginary straight line passing through the centers of the two circular bases. This axis helps us determine the type of cylinder. If the axis is perpendicular to the bases, then that is the right cylinder. And if the axis is slanted, that is an oblique cylinder. Knowing the axis matters because it tells us whether we can use the simple formulas for surface area. And then the next is, next slide please. Next is the right and oblique cylinders. A right cylinder stands straight and its sides go directly upward. Its height is measured easily and the surface formulas apply without modification. An oblique cylinder leans to the side, similar to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and although it still has circular bases, the surface area requires more advanced geometry because the height is not the same as the slanted side. And right cylinders are more common in real life, for example, sa cans, pipes, and cups, which is why the formulas focus on them. And for the last topic, that is the lateral and surface area of a right cylinder. For a right cylinder, the lateral area comes from unwrapping the curved surface into a rectangle. The total surface area includes the top and the bottom circles. The formulas are for lateral area, that is equal to 2 pi times the radius and height, and another formula is for the total surface area, that is 2 pi r height plus 2 pi r squared. These formulas are used for designing cylinders, covering surfaces, measuring labels, and calculating materials needed in construction or manufacturing. So that concludes our reporting. Thank you for listening.